Hello, and welcome to the Cryptocurrency News Channel. Before I start, I'd like to remind you if you want to join me on my daily live streams, the link is in the description as well as the first pinned comment. I'm streaming on my Backup Good Free Photos channel. I also have a new channel called Crypto Daily Update where I encapsulate all the day's news in one great crypto video. If you want to watch only one video to get all your day's crypto news, check out Crypto Daily Update. Both those links will be in the description and as well as the comments, so check those out. So actually, let's talk about this. Now, it's weird that we talk about this because the Fed, I'm going to ask, is the Fed propping both the stock market and by proxy the crypto market up? Now, the Fed is obviously not buying any crypto, but they could actually be helping the stock market. Now, they aren't directly buying stocks right now, is what I mean. Like, if the Fed actually needs congressional authorization to buy stuff like stocks. They're also talking about moving some pension funds actually into equities. They actually did this in 2019, but I mean not 2019, 2009 for the Great Recession, and they could actually do it again this time, but in larger amounts for shorter amounts of time. However, if that move does not work out well, there's going to be a lot of fallout from it. So the Fed itself right now cannot actually buy equities. They have to have congressional approval, but what they can do is do a workaround. The Treasury can actually use the Fed as a bank to buy equities themselves to float the price of the stock market up. However, the Treasury will not actually buy specific equities or specific stocks. The Treasury would actually buy ETFs, and those fund managers then in return would actually go out and buy the stocks. That's how it would actually work. You guys might think, well, that's just like the Fed temporarily pumping, like the Fed by relation with the Treasury, temporarily pumping the stock market up. And you would be right. That's what they would do. And they would need to pump it up for a few months. I don't know how much money it would cost them to buy it, to do it. But they have an infinite printer, so they could technically do it. And by relation, if people see the stock market go up, crypto will probably go up. You can see like it was hanging around 67, 6,800 tomorrow, but yesterday. But once the futures actually started going up, they started going up as well. And once the stock market opened and gained 1,600 points today, the crypto market went up as well. So the thing is, even though like they might be not completely correlated, the crypto market still looks at the overall economic market. And this is where it doesn't make any sense. Unemployment numbers are awful. There's still a pandemic out there. Oil prices like tanked today. So it doesn't really make any sense to me outside of like direct market manipulation, which they actually might be doing because they're already still buying like bonds and stuff. They're talking about buying stocks, like direct injection to actually help the market, or like the big Wall Street firms are actually trying to buy up the market as well to float their stocks up. That could be another possibility, definitely, because like they're going to lose a lot if it dumps the roof. But we might have like a mortgage crisis in a few months. Once like the 3-month mortgages are actually due. Oil is not doing too well right now. They might have a solution on Thursday, but that's not guaranteed by any extent. So I actually think people, and all those people out of work, they're going to need to liquidate both assets and maybe even crypto if they have some to actually pay rent and buy food. So the thing is, I still think for the stock market, there is another dip coming, and I think there is probably another dip coming for the crypto market as well. Remember, BCH and BSV have in the next few days. BCH is tomorrow, BSV is on the 9th, so watch for those cryptos. They might be very, very volatile, and I want to see what happens to them after the whole halving thing. But Bitcoin's coming up to the halving. I think that's one of the few things that's actually holding Bitcoin up right now against the stock market. But I do believe that it will drop sometime in the future. Now, like I said, it's extremely hard for me to tell with the halving coming up and with like people artificially inflating all markets at this point. And also Tether's printed $2 billion more, so they might be using Tether to float the Bitcoin market up. But eventually, if they are floating it up, they really can't keep it up forever. So eventually it's going to have to drop. Because with all those big unemployment numbers coming in, even if the Fed actually moves some of the pensions into stock market, which actually could be very disastrous if things don't work out well, and with a possible second wave of the pandemic coming, I do see like at some point that we will drop below 20,000, perhaps to 15,000 again. And that's actually, I think, the point where they would actually think about the Treasury actually buying equities with the Fed supporting him in the background. So that is the news for today. Let me know what you think. Like and subscribe, and hit that bell notifications button. And yes, I do actually think the Fed is actually taking on some certain actions to really pump the market, stimulus aside. So that's the news for today. Let me know what you think. Like and subscribe, and hit that bell notifications button. Thank you, and have a nice day.